You're listening to I Love This TV Show, The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls, Season 3, Episode 12, Charlie's Buddy. Original air date, December 12th, 1987. In this episode, Dorothy and Sophia come back after dress shopping. Dorothy refuses to take Sophia again. Blanche comes out extremely excited over Dorothy finally finding a dress. Rose comes in and asks Dorothy if she finally got a dress for the fundraiser. Dorothy shows it to them, and Blanche changes the subject. Rose likes it, but Dorothy decides to return it. Sophia comes back out, and Dorothy tells her she's going to return the dress. She asks Sophia to go with her again, but Sophia refuses. When Sophia opens the door to leave, a man asks her if she is Rose. She's not, but Rose comes to the door. He acts like he knows Rose, and she introduces everyone. Rose has no clue who he is. He admits he didn't know her either. He tells her he served with her husband in the war. Rose invites him to stay for dinner. When Dorothy and Blanche make excuses for the dinner, he does too. She offers to give him a tour of the city the next day. Blanche notices he wasn't wearing a wedding ring. It's another day, and Rose is in the park with Buddy. He tells her that Charlie read him some parts of the letter she sent him. He asks about a scandal that was discussed. Rose starts telling his story. Rose also points out how much he knows about her life with Charlie. He gives her this big speech about carrying the letters in his heart and falling in love with the woman who wrote them. Then he kisses her. At the house, Dorothy comes out in a spectacular dress. Sophia then starts talking about Rose and Buddy. Blanche shouts out to them about her dress as well. And when she comes out, she's wearing the same dress that Dorothy's wearing. Sophia suggests getting a third and having the three go as the Pointer Sisters. Blanche couldn't fit into anything in her closet, and that's why she got a new dress. Dorothy points out this is because she's eating too much ice cream. Blanche has a meltdown. Dorothy tells her she's keeping the dress, and Blanche will have to take hers back. Rose comes in and tells them she loves their dress. The two fight over who is going to take their dress back. Rose tells them she needs to talk to them, that Buddy is going back to Boston on Saturday, and he wants her to go with him, and she might go with him. The two are so shocked by this that they stop fighting instantly. They both follow Rose into the kitchen to talk to her. They're worried. Sophia comes in to get clarification. Rose is going to live with Buddy, but not marry him. Dorothy thinks maybe living together is a good idea, but Blanche calls it a sin, which shocks Dorothy. Blanche points out she hasn't lived with the man without being married to him. She's just slept with him. Dorothy asks Rosie if she loves Buddy. She thinks she does. Blanche then brings up money. She responds back by telling them they're going to keep their finances separate. He wants her to give him her half of the money for the new place before they leave. Rose tries to get them to settle the dress business as well. Blanche has a little breakdown. She can't find cookies in the cupboard and goes out to buy some more. Later that week, Dorothy comes back with a new dress. Blanche has done the same thing. They are both in the same bag, and so now they're worried they have the same dress. Dorothy then brings up Rose and Blanche. She looked into Buddy. He didn't serve with Charlie. He worked in the pension office for 40 years. He's just scamming Rose out of money, and he's done it to others too. They're forced to wait until Rose gets back, but they're worried she's going to give him the money. Sophia comes in the same dress that Blanche bought. That afternoon in the park, Rose is walking with Buddy. She tells him that she told the kids about him, and then tells him a dinosaur story. But she also tells him she's not going to move to Boston with him. She tells him that remembering Charlie is what made her happy. She doesn't love Buddy. She gives him Charlie's gold watch, and now he feels too guilty and gives it back. He's taken enough from her and Charlie already. He leaves. Sophia is in her room listening to an opera. Dorothy interrupts. She's worried about Rose. She's worried about not telling Rose the truth about Buddy. Sophia tells a story. Dorothy points out the story is completely false. But her point was that no harm was done, and Rose is happy. Sophia goes back to her opera. Rose tells Charlie good night and that she loves him before she goes to sleep. Favorite quotes. Dorothy. Blanche, have you ever met a man you didn't think was giving you the eye? Sophia. Pussycat, you look sensational. Sophia. Who's the designer? He deserves a Nobel Prize for miracles. Sophia. Hey, don't panic. Pick up one for Rose and you can go as the Pointer Sisters. Blanche. Dorothy, this is crazy. Since when do you care about how you look? Dorothy. I think it started when I came down from the bell tower and had my hump fixed. Dorothy. Why do I feel like I just fell through the looking glass? Dorothy. You go with your heart. We just want you to be happy. Blanche. If we have the same dress, Mr. Marty is going to be left with one of a kind. Rose. Speaking of dinosaurs, did Charlie ever tell you about how they found the dinosaur bones right outside of St. Olaf? Buddy. I think I've taken enough from you and Charlie already. This episode really brings scams to life in a very clear and credible way. In today's day and age, we're dealing with scams all the time. If you apply to a job on Indeed and make your resume public, within a day, you start getting all these text messages from people saying, oh, I got your job, I got your interview request ready. Thanks for your application, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And they're always like, oh, it's a remote work at home job. Go ahead and pay for your stuff with this place, and then we'll send you a check to reimburse you. But yeah, that check ain't never good. They're the vendor you're buying from. They got your money, and they are gone, gone, gone. And this is the same kind of thing with Charlie's buddy here. It's not really his buddy. This guy's running a confidence scam. Confidence scam on Rose. He's tricking her into thinking that he was in the war with Charlie and they knew each other and Charlie read him all of his letters, well, some parts of it. And then going so far as to tell Rose he fell in love with the woman who wrote the letters. And even Rose seems a bit skeptical. I don't see Rose skeptical too often in these episodes, but this is one where she actually kind of kept her guard up and kept her reserve up. It's like when she was directly asked by Dorothy and Blanche, do you love him? And her response isn't, yes, I do. It's, I think I do. Rose is usually always quite sure. She's not on the fence about many things. Her world is very black and white. So for her to be in a gray area on this tells me, woo, many, many things. And, Dorothy always does her due diligence and she researched this guy. And she discovered he's never been on active duty. He had an office job in the pension department of all places, and he's run this scam on multiple people. Now, I don't know how much money he got out of other people, but I'm kind of surprised that, he was still out there free and running this scam. He should have already been caught and prosecuted. But criminalistics was different in the 80s when this show was written than it is now. And now there's all kinds of modern technology, so the guy could have been caught pretty quick. Oh, but the dress thing is so funny in this episode. Admittedly, Dorothy's first dress really wasn't that fabulous. It was nice, but it wasn't like a showstopper. The second dress was definitely a showstopper. And Blanche is very vain and egotistical, and she always has to be the prettiest one in the room, which is why she didn't want Dorothy to wear it, because Dorothy would, in that case, then be the prettiest one in the room instead of her. It was quite simply her ego talking. Now, when she has the same dress as Sophia, that is really funny. Oh, that just cracks me up on there. And the dress, though, the black thing with the gold skirt with the gold bow tie, that does not scream Blanche to me. Sophia, yes, that makes sense, but definitely not Blanche. And I don't know, maybe that was just the only thing she could find that fit, or what exactly was going on there. But it was quite unique because normally this show, the clothing is always quite style forward. And that wasn't really style forward to me, that was more like kitschy. And so, yeah, I'm curious what you guys think of the dresses. Which one did you like the best? Which one did you like the least? It's like, I know I'm not a fashionista, so critiquing the dresses is not my area of specialty. But the fact that there was like such distress. And Sophia's solution was really the best one. Just get one for Rose and go as the Pointer Sisters. I mean, it's a fundraiser anyway. So yeah, I mean, they in one episode they do a dance act, so why not do a little singing act too? It would be fun to see because they do sing throughout the show at different points, and they all have a nice voice. So it would have been kind of cool if they did a Pointer Sisters song and like took the whole sketch a little farther there. But in the end, I was glad that Rose figured out on her own. No, she wasn't in love with Buddy. It was the memories that he brought back of her and Charlie, and that it was Charlie who she loved. And I just thought that was really very sweet and very classic Rose. I think that if any other character had been in the same situation, it would have ended in a different way, and it wouldn't have had the same emotional or heartfelt effect. Thanks for tuning in to the I Love This TV Show podcast. If you would like to make a donation in support of this podcast, you can through Cash App to Pasta26MC. That's pasta like the food, the number 2, the number 6, M as in monkey, C as in cat. If you would like to sponsor this podcast or advertise on it, please send an email to t2podcast@pastasworld.com. As always, you can go to pastasworld.com for more information.